When I was 60, and that's 15 years ago now, oh, for heaven's sake, Dave said, what would you like for your birthday? I said, I'd love a doll's house, but I'd like a barn conversion. And I thought, then I can do it either out in old stuff or modern stuff, you know, sort of mix and match. And so anyway, he decided to go and get the wood like he always does. And then I want to call it number 60, because I was 60, Rustic Retreat, because Rustic is an anagram of our surname Curtis. Curtis, but I say Curtis. So this is number 60, Rustic Retreat. And this is how he done it. Well, first of all, he done it like this, and then I realised that wasn't big enough. So when I open up for you, I'll show you what I mean. Yeah? Would you like me to open it up? Hang on then. I've now got my back to the audience. Now, we're not allowed to do this because I'm a thespian, you know, and we're not allowed to deliver our lines with our back to the audience. But hey-ho. Right, we'll lift up the lid and we'll open up, and in there you will see the kitchen. We'll go to the kitchen first, should we? Because that's my favourite room. And again, I've got lots of red. Red in there. Red's my favourite colour. Where should we start? We can start with the fridge. And this lady who lives here, she's quite well off. Look, she's got her fridge full of things. And she's got a little dog. Of course she's got a dog. Always have a dog or a cat. Then inside, if I'm just going to move the island away, because I would like to just show you something. I'm sorry I've got my back to you, but I have to do this. I collect brooches, and I went onto a famous internet auction site, and I made friends with a lady called Gwen from Liverpool, and we got to know each other, and I went to stay with her. She stayed here. Anyway, I said I'd like a rag rug for my kitchen. She said, I'll make you one. Look, and there's the little rag rug. It's lovely. What colours? Well, it's got to be red, isn't it? Can you see that? It's lovely, isn't it? And that fits lovely in there against the old cooker. Then we've got little Henry. Can you see that? Don't know whether I can take it or whether it go blurred. Little Henry. And then in here, of course, let me put the island back. We've got the coffee and the percolator there. The ironing board. That's not used very much because we don't like housework. But on the side here, we've actually got Daisy in this one, our little Daisy May. We've got 10 grandchildren in Finch and Field House, and we've got little Daisy in this kitchen. Is that lovely? And then, of course, I've got the Union Jack. I'm very proud of the Union Jack because of my dad being a captain in the army. And the Union Jack meant the world to him. And I think it's all I can tell you. All you can do is just have a look and see what else we've got in there. The little transistor radio at the top there. So that's nice. So would you like to come up to the bedroom now? Now this I tried to do like a 1980s style. Can you remember these beds with the drawer underneath to put all your shoes and things? But in here, this is just a little ring holder. But the ring holder looked like a little puffy. And in there is my wedding ring, eternity ring, engagement ring from Dave. I was walking the dog one day and I fell over. I broke my wrist. And as I broke my wrist, my finger got bigger and bigger and bigger. So I had to be took off to the hospital, and they took all my rings off. I cried. Not with the pain, but I cried because my rings were took off. So I had to have a new wedding ring. So that's where that is. Whether the children, my children, know that's it, but that's where they are, in there. This is another little thing I really like. At the bottom of the garden, Dave has built me a retro room because I'm into fashions, retro fashion. I don't wear retro fashion, but I like to collect them, because you normally find with retro fashion, they're usually a size 8 and 10. So, not for me. So we bought a chair like this for £25 from a charity shop. Dave completely done over with patchwork. He put studs all in, and I thought, I don't know, I'm going to have a go at making one of them. So I don't know whether you can see, I got the diamantes, because with him being a diamante setter, I had a heyday sorting out all the little diamantes. So this is, I'm quite chuffed with that. What do you think? So that's my little chair. We'll put that up there. And then there's the toilet down there on that little bathroom. And what I was wanted to say is that I want, you know, the ensuite on each bedroom. So that's really nice. So that's that story on that one. Before I carry on, can I turn around? Because this is my best side, because I've lost a tooth that side. This, me and my Auntie Brenda, we went down to the auction in the next village in Snetcham, and there was a box of rubbish, and on the top of this rubbish was this, lying there like that. And I thought, I'm going to put a £5 bid on that. So anyway, I won it for £5. Why we come? Look, this is our sign for our village. And I'm sure our cameraman will go Google it and you'll see how lovely that is. And it's the right scale. So the Heacham sign sits proudly there.
Rolling. Action.
Right, this is the main barn bit. I love this bit. And if you look up here, what we done here, this was just the inside of what you put in a basket for your flowers in the summer, what you hang on baskets. And we thought, oh, that really works well. That looks like a thatched roof. But then as that dried out, that started flying everywhere. So I bought this fabric from the fabric shop and I sprayed it silver to make it look like wire netting. So that's to stop all the birds and the rats and the mice getting in there and laying eggs. So anyway, they don't lay eggs, do they?
Birds do.
Oh, birds do. Yeah, birds do. So I'm going to take this off so then I can show you. But I'm just removing the front. Right. We start here with these little booties. Look at those. Look, aren't they gorgeous? They're from the NEC in Birmingham. The NEC done very well out of us. And these were well over £100. There's two there. They're just gorgeous. I love them. When I was 70, I had a big party. And I invited a lady called Elaine, my friend Elaine. She's in our drama group, the Pocahontas Players. And she met me for coffee on the day before. And she'd made this for me. She'd never, ever, ever done anything 12th scale before. And she made everything except that stool and that chair. Don't know whether you can see. There's all the little paint brushes there. There's a picture of Martha. There's a picture of cooking because I love to bake. It's just absolutely lovely, isn't it? I mean, she'd never done it before. Would you actually make something like that for someone who's been doing it for like 30 years? And she did, and I am absolutely pleased as punch with that. Very clever. So I thought there's only one place for that. That can be in there, up there. Hang on, I'll just take that, and I just want to show you this now. There's an artist thing. There's a lot of drawing and things going on in my houses. And I don't know whether you can see this, can you? That's called the cross stiles. And that's near the church at Sedgeford. And when we were little, we used to play down there. So I've made that look like I've been painting it, but it's not really. It's a photograph. But isn't that lovely? Yeah, so that's in there. And of course, in our drama group, we done a part of Mary Poppins. And there's Mary Poppins' bag. And her umbrella. Spit spot, spit spot. Cute. Isn't it cute? So lovely. I love all these little things you can do. Let me put Elaine back. Got to be tidy. Again, there's a sewing machine. Sewing machine in every house. Right, now we come down here. And first of all, we look at this lovely rug. £40. I paid £40 for that. Again from the NEC. It's just gorgeous, isn't it? That fits lovely in there. There's my mum when she was younger. I think she was on a motorbike there. In-law Matt, he was in the lifeboat as a little lifeboat man. Then Gwen, who collect brooches from Liverpool, she bought me 5 of these little books. I don't read, but this was 50 Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of Grey. Anyway, that's it. And then the cloakroom at the back. And then all those little things at the back there. Again, it's just black, red, all a little coffee set, the winding stairs, ducks on the wall, and the dog's lead, of course. Now, I bought the collar and made the lead. I thought, oh, I'll have a go at that. So again, that all lights up. The reason, I'll tell you why we've got the cloakroom in a little while. Remind me. I'll tell you why we got the cloakroom. We'll put this back. It just fits in there. Right, shall we go on?
What, have I got to say action?
Yeah.
Oh, action.
Right, so we're now on to the next bit of the barn conversion. I'll lift this up for you. And this is my 1920s, 30s bedroom. And at the top here, I don't know whether I'm going to get this out for you, I think. So you can, I'm sorry about my back, but this is, where are we? Where's the camera? I don't know whether you can see that, but look at the little makeup there. Miss Ellie liked that. This was £125 from the NEC. I looked at it 1 year and I couldn't afford it. I went again the next year, I still couldn't afford it. Right, I thought, I'm going to save up. And so the next year I went and got it. Yeah, and the man even charged me £5 for this little head thing there. Wouldn't you thought he'd have given me that? But isn't that lovely? It's real 1920s sort of look. And it's called All That Jazz, that room is. And then every year Mum used to give me some money to go to the NEC. Anyway, this particular year she said, here, there's £20, you go and get yourself something nice, Jazzy. So off I go, and I go, right Mum, would you like to see what you bought for... Yeah, all right, she said. I said, but you owe me £2. Why do I owe you £2? Because look, this is what we got. A captain's hat. But, Mum, it was £22. £2 you owe me. But she loved it. She always used to give me a little special little envelope every time I went to the NEC. So that was good. One of my hats have fell down now. You'll have to cut it a minute while I just put the hat on. Hang on, there you go. Now, my friend Judy, her daughter is very, very good at making real big hats. And she made me this. Laura made me this little hat. Look, 12th scale. 12th scale. So that's in there. And I had a little go at making a... Oh, I've lost it. Here you go. A little Easter bonnet. I don't know whether you can see that, can you? Can you see that little Easter bonnet? 12th scale again. Like all that sort of stuff. And then with my cats, my Reggie and my Mabel, I've got this, and we made that for the bedroom. There they are, look, Reggie and Mabel. Gorgeous. Dave made them smaller. I made a little thing for that bedroom. And then over the bed, again, this is Jeannie's son-in-law, Stevie. He made a big plate like that. It's some sort of tin or, I don't know, lead or something. He made a big one for Jamie's salon. And then he made that little one for the bedroom. So I think that looked really nice there, don't you? And then on the Art Deco, little coffee set. So they have a cup of coffee in the morning with a little Art Deco set. Yeah, and this one I thought I'd make myself. That's just the little cardboard box. I bought this bit. I bought the wooden bit, and then I put all these little things in there. Look, can you see that? Thought I'd have a go at myself. Make it easier. And then we come down again to this. Again, I've got red, and it's 12th scale. And when I say 12th scale, that means that if a table in real life is 3.5 foot high, I can only do feet and inches. I can't do them little CM things. Oh God, I think I'm going to get the giggles now. If it's 3.5 foot high, a table in here would be 3.5 inches. Like that little sideboard at the back there. That is 3.5 inches, because that'd be 3.5 foot in real life. Now on the back, I don't know whether you can see that, but there's a little canvas there. There are 10 that when we only had 10 grandchildren and our children. And of course, my dog. Dave made that 12th scale, and I've actually got that in the hall for real. I'm sure our cameraman will take a picture soon. From the little 12th scale one in the barn conversion, this is the full scale one. When I wanted a picture taken of all our grandchildren, but I didn't want them just sitting like this. And then one keeping their eyes shut. So what we done, we had all the family over, and we took them individually, individually but together. Then Dave, we took him outside, and then he drew round every bit, all these spokes, everything, to get that like that. So I'll show you who this is. Jason, that's Dave's son, and he has Eleanor and Amelia. This is Jessica. She has Miss Ellie. She broke her arm there, and the reason they're laughing is because Archie had drawn a willy on her arm. Then there's Lindsay, who has Reuben and Imogen. There's Gemma, who has Jake, Alfie and Archie. And then there's John, who has little Jack and Amy. Now, when you think of this, this was like, no, 2014, and he's now an HCV driver. You know, it don't bear thinking about really. And we're old age pensioners, and there's our beautiful dog. She was a puppy then, that's Martha. So that's a family, and then I said, oh, can you just make it 12 scale for me? So this is what he done. And then you can see there's Martha at the back there. That was a hand-painted picture of her when she was a puppy, again from the NEC. I just left a photo there, and they sent that to me. And then, so I've got Labrador one side, and then there's, if you look at the ornament, there's a Basset Hound. I don't know who's got a Basset Hound, but there's the Basset Hound. And then there's a little picture at the back there. It's me and my mum. I suppose I was about 9 months old then, so that was 1950. This 3/4 unit here was all white, but then I recovered it in black and red because, again, I liked red. And there's the, can you see our future king there? Prince William, that was when they got married, and I bought a plate to remember them by. Anyway, that's the living room. I think I've told you everything about that. The 12th scale, that's what I want. I didn't want to forget to tell you about the 12th scale, how easy it is. So we'll shut this up, and then we'll go on to that piece. That had to be built on extra because I realised I wanted a ensuite. Well, it's obvious there's not enough room for an ensuite, so Dave had to build an extension before we even started this for the bathroom. Because if you came here and you were having a cup of tea and you wanted to go to the toilet, you'd have to go up the stairs and through the bedrooms to the bathroom. So that's why we built the little cloakroom in the back there. Am I looking in the right place? So, do you want to see the end bit? Just a little bit at the end? Right, I'll shut up. I'll shut the doors up, I mean. And again, look at this. This all need finishing. It's just like your real house. There's always something what need doing, what you don't get round to. So I've got to beam that. And also put curtains up. Or, no, I don't want curtains. I want blinds in this house. So that's 15 years and they still haven't got blinds up the bedroom window. It's a good job they live in the middle of a field. This is the extension. This is for the ensuite. So, I must just say, the roof tiles, all that is the, you know, the back cardboard of a writing pad. That's just that, and cut in little squares, stuck on there, and then just painted over. And if you went to any doll's house fair or anything, you're talking about mega money. But you can do this for next to nothing. So that's a nice little pointer to anyone who wants to do this sort of thing. Right, here's the bathroom, the ensuite bathroom. Again, I need some more beams put down there. And this has got a shower unit. That's quite a posh one, this one is. But again, that's got to be finished. In there is, I don't know whether you can see that. This is a picture of me and Dave in America. And we had a picture taken in the bath together, wanted. And I've got that in our real bathroom, and I just want to put that in a frame to put in there. So it's a great memory of us in, where were we? In Texas, I think, or somewhere like that. Anyway, then we go downstairs and we've got the office. Again, you see all my little bits of red. I love red. I don't wear it, but I like to wear red. No, I don't like to. Can you cut that, please, John? I don't like to wear red, but I like red. Here's this little hat I made when Kate and Will's got married. Little 12 scale. Can you see that on there? Yeah. So that's good. In there, the little red coffee set. And in the background, let me take that off there for a minute and put that back on there. They're all my brothers and sisters. from the left going down, there's Joan, Jill, Joy, John. Then on top right is little old me, and then Jimmer. Well, his name is James, but we all call him Jimmer or Jimmo. Then little Jane and little Jeffrey. He was always known as Boy Jeffrey to Mum. And then beside it, there's a little calendar. And that was a calendar we done at Pocahontas Players, us girls. We all got together and we did a calendar girls thing. And we raised enough money to buy our Heacham doctor's surgery a 24-hour blood pressure machine. And that was good fun. I was Miss November, and Mum, who was 92 and a half at the time, she was Miss January. I said, why do you want to be Miss January, Mum? Well, because that's one of the longest months and I'll be on the wall the longest, she said. Anyway, so that's my mum. So that was good. That's a little memory of that. And then I'd done vertical blinds. This I'd like to do in every room, but they are a heck of a thing to do. You have to sort of have a outline of a window on the ground, and then cut your bits out. But I would like to do that, but it's find the time these days. Anyway, that's the office of Rustic Retreat. Our very last one we've made, because we have no space anywhere now for anything. It's it. And anyway, that's the end of my little guide, and perhaps we'll have another little bit added on. Well, I love art, I love drawing and all that sort of thing, sketching. I'm not a painter, but one day I thought, I don't know, I'll try and do a background. So this is my background of hills and fields and pylons and clouds and a little fence. I was quite chuffed. That'll do, won't it?